If you've been feeling stuck, I know you feel like you've already been there for a long time, but I feel like, and I wonder if part of the problem is you're not allowing yourself to actually feel it. Feeling it is not going to set you back. Avoiding it is what's going to set you back. Welcome to the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weird, beat imposter syndrome, and take action on your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 181, take 2. Not that you knew I did a take 1, but I recorded a different topic in the car this morning on the way home from dropping my son off at school, and later in the day I got re-inspired for a different topic, so here we go. I'm sure I'll probably still release the other one, but I will have to change what number I said the podcast was. So I hope that you are feeling some fresh energy now that spring is technically here according to the calendar. I know weather-wise, at least around here, it did get a little warmer, but there's still a big chill in the air. And I don't think we're supposed to see the sun again for a few days now after this. So hoping that the sun comes back, waiting somewhat impatiently for warmer weather. And nonetheless, happy spring and happy real new year. I don't profess to know a ton about the history of any of the calendars that exist. All I can really share that I would be able to make sense out of is that the calendar was changed at some point in history to move when the new year would be celebrated. Why, I don't remember, and I think there might be multiple theories out there about it, but nonetheless, whether you believe that the calendar was actually changed or not, who cares? That's really totally beside the point. If you think about it logically for a second, doesn't it seem a little weird that we celebrate a new start, a fresh start in our lives in the dead of winter? In the middle of winter when it's freezing cold, it's dark, it's typically gloomy, everything is quiet, nothing in nature is really awake, there's no leaves on the trees, there's no flowers on the ground. And I talked about this a few episodes back in the one that says something about the real reason, this could be the real reason why you can't stick to your New Year's resolutions. I forget exactly how I worded it, but it was something to that effect. And now that it's spring, there's starting to be more daylight. We won't talk about daylight savings time because screw that. And we know that even if in your part of the world it doesn't look that way yet, things are going to start blooming soon. The weather is going to start getting warmer. The sun should be out a lot more often. There's new life, there's rebirth, there's fresh starts. If you suddenly are feeling the urge to do some spring cleaning, we're shifting out the stagnant energy that's been stuck around us, stuck inside our houses, stuck in our atmosphere, in our aura, in our environment, whatever you want to label it. It's just really a natural pull with the shift of the seasons. So if you suddenly are feeling a little bit more energetic, a little more ready to get moving on your goals, this is why. It's the energy of spring coming in. So by the time you're listening to this, it has not happened at the time I'm recording it, but by the time you'll be listening to this, we will have done a spring-themed Reiki session inside the Energy Within Facebook group. If you were there, thank you so much for being there. If you missed it, you can still go back and watch the replay, and you can still receive that energy, because if you haven't heard me say it before, time is not linear, so you can still receive that energy, still receive those shifts. I can't tell you, of course, because it has not happened yet. As I'm talking about, time is not linear, but in my reality, it hasn't happened yet. So my plan, we'll see how it actually plays out in the replay. But my plan is to focus on abundance and that new life, refocusing, treating it like it's the new year, and doing a little rebalancing of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies within us. I'm learning a lot more about that lately, and it just came up again in readings that were done by someone else that I follow. Her name is Meadow Faith, if you want to look her up. If I remember, I always say this and then I don't remember, but if I do remember, I'll try to put a link to her, either her Facebook group or possibly her Instagram, maybe both, I don't know. But she does human design, and she does a really good job of breaking it down so that it is applicable in your everyday life. But she did some of these readings, and that divine masculine, the divine feminine, which side of the body is masculine energy and which side is feminine energy, and what that all means is correlating with a book that I'm reading right now. And it's just all coming together. So that's part of the plan for the Reiki. If you missed it, you can go back and check it out and see how it actually all played out. And if you were there and if you haven't had a chance to give me some feedback on it, I would love to hear what your experience was. I would love for you to even just go ahead and share on social media and just tag me. But you know what? You know what's going to happen? I don't need to hold on to that last episode that I recorded this morning because it ties in. This is why I was led to re-record, because there was more to what I was saying this morning. So we feel the energy shifting. And it's highly likely, if you're listening to this, that you have felt stagnant, you have felt stuck for a long time, including recently, especially recently, and maybe a little bit lost in a sense. Maybe not completely lost, but lost on what's next, what to do next, what to focus on next, because maybe things have felt so stagnant that nothing really seems to be moving. Maybe you've had some successes, but nothing is gaining momentum, nothing's snowballing yet the way you would like it to, and you really just want to hurry up and get the answers you need and get moving. Well, first of all, two things. Does that make sense? I'm going to leave that in. The first thing, go ahead and tune in and align with this energy that is shifting with the shifting of the seasons. Let yourself feel that. Let it in. Let in those feelings of abundance, of new life, of rebirth, of fertility in the sense of new ideas or following ideas that you've had on the table for a while and haven't really dipped your toe into yet, which is really funny because right now I'm passing a car. I won't tell you the whole license plate, but the word toes is literally in the license plate. This is fun. Okay, I was going to say this is weird, but it's not weird. It's a fun weird. I'm weird, so what does it matter? Also, I'm not sick anymore. I haven't been for quite a few days. I just have this stupid residual phlegm that won't go away. More throat chakra clearing? Sure, bring it on. But the second thing, which is the entire thing that I talked about in my original recording of this episode, was if you've been feeling lost, if you've been feeling stuck. I know you feel like you've already been there for a long time, but I feel like, and I wonder if part of the problem is you're not allowing yourself to actually feel it. And it might seem weird to be told to embody an energy like that, because we always want to embody, we strive to embody the higher vibrational frequencies, the higher vibrational emotions more often than we do the lower ones. But the lower ones aren't bad. So here's a prime example, a good example of when you might need to embody a lower vibrational frequency. We're not supposed to bypass our emotions. And I can't stand these little catchphrases that people have come up with. Maybe they've existed longer than I know about them, but still, like, people talk about spiritual bypassing and things like that. And those phrases don't resonate with me, but I do know what it means. And I do understand that pretending that you're not feeling something for the sake of trying to act as if you can embody something higher just because you know that's where you're supposed to be, or you think that's where you're supposed to be, but that's not healthy. That's not helpful at all. And in fact, it's going to make it worse probably when you do finally actually become forced to feel it. So messages come up a lot, and I've seen it again. I don't think for me, but I saw in someone else's reading or a card that came up somewhere I saw this recently, that basically if a decision is not made, and this exact reading was given to me once before too, if you don't make a decision will be made for you, because what is meant for you will not miss you. So I talked just a tiny bit about a little thought on divine right timing in my stories today, which you won't be able to see by time this episode is posted, but I plan on actually making it into a reel in a way. So that might be up by time you hear this episode. But divine right timing doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have to wait for something until a set time in your life, no matter what you do. I think that in most cases, it's waiting until you're ready. And we have free will. So it really is completely up to you when you're ready. That doesn't make any point on that timeline of you being ready, right or wrong. It's simply a matter of how quickly you get to have that experience, how quickly you get to draw that part of your life to you. So it really is up to you. But on the same token, if you are avoiding something because maybe it's painful, it's not fun, you're afraid, but it's something that's necessary for you to be able to move forward, eventually, in order for you to get what is meant for you, it's going to be forced upon you in a way. It doesn't necessarily mean something huge and dramatic, but, just to throw out a random example, let's say you've been building a side hustle. You've been unsure of when it's time to jump because you're still working a job, a full-time job, and your energy is being drained at this job, and at the same time you're afraid to leave that comfort zone. If you don't take the reins and quit yourself, you might just end up getting fired. So that would be an example of something being forced upon you so that you can eventually get onto the path that you're meant to be on, because it's going to happen one way or another. It's up to you how you want to let it happen. So all that said, if you have been feeling lost, if you have been feeling stuck, allow yourself to feel that. It's okay to feel that. Feeling it is not going to set you back. Avoiding it is what's going to set you back. This is coming out a lot clearer and a lot better than it did this morning. So don't be afraid of being in the lower vibrations when you need to be there. Let yourself feel it. It's in a way like being lost in a forest, having no idea where you are. You'll probably have more success finding your way out if you can get yourself centered and grounded, calm yourself down, and start to see with fresh eyes. So if you allow yourself to feel that feeling of being lost, that feeling of being stuck, take a moment to ground yourself, to get yourself centered. Maybe brain dump some things that have been overwhelming you. Get it all out of your head so that it's not swimming there. Maybe do something physical to shift your energy. Go do something that brings you joy, that makes you happy, unrelated to whatever your goals might be, perhaps. And then maybe still stay quiet so that you can hear the nudges, hear the messages, and allow yourself to be led to where you need to go next. That's where I'm going to leave it. I do want to let you know that the Energy Club membership is officially open. There are 3 tiers. All 3 tiers include the monthly group Reiki session and access to all previous recordings as they build up, of course. and you will be locked in at the founder's rate for as long as you remain a member, and given access to anything that is added to your tier automatically without any price change. The level 2 is the silver level that also includes a one-on-one mini Reiki session that is 30 minutes long every month. And the gold level, the VIP level, instead of a mini session, it includes a one-on-one full Reiki session and a 3-card pull via email once a month that you can ask for at any time during the month. So if you are looking for a way to get that energy work into your life to help you get your energy into alignment, to help clear blockages, and you are looking for an affordable way to do that, to really start making some changes in your life, to refocus yourself, to get yourself in the energy you want to be in, this is a great way to do that. So the link will be in the show notes. Ask me any questions that you have, and I hope to see you in there. I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, please share it. Make sure you tag me on social media. If you tag me on Instagram, make sure you tag I am Carrie Jokala. And if you would be so kind to also leave a 5-star positive review in whatever app you are listening to, if it allows ratings and reviews. Because I don't use all of them, so I don't know. I've heard that some of them, people don't know where or if they can even rate or review a show. So if you can on the platform you're listening to, especially iTunes, I would greatly appreciate if you would do that, because ratings are what boost the show so that it gets shown to more people. So that is where I will officially leave it. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.